this is Tuchodor. Welcome to my new sketch time video. I think this is number 5 or 6, I'm not quite sure now. Today I'm gonna do some sketches, like urban sketching style, I think, from streets of Paris. Every time I visit Paris, I'm falling in love all over again. I love this city. It's like living in an art exhibit. I don't know, some people don't like it. Can't understand why, actually. I don't know, I feel quite attached there, and it always inspired me just randomly walk on the streets. And I decided to do some sketches of the buildings I seen while I was visiting, and I found some other reference pictures from Pinterest that I might share the link below so you can join me. I can't really call it like urban sketching. It's kind of mix of, I don't know how to categorize it actually. I don't know how people manage to do it. I'm just gonna go with the flow and probably add some color with my watercolors in the end. And if you wonder what kind of palette I'm using, those are from Mr. Newton. Yeah, I have 2 palettes from Mr. Newton. Actually, one of them like is about 6-7 years old now, crazy old. I should paint some more often maybe. It was about to finish, and my husband thought that because I really like it, and he thought that, oh, it's finishing, I should buy her a new one. So he got me the new palette, which is great, but at the same time I was hoping to change and try some other brand, but I feel like I have to finish this now. And the small one took like 7 years, not even finished yet, but to consume the most. Probably the big one is gonna take like 10 years. So we will see how it goes. I don't know if you're that kind also, you know, when I have one thing, like when I have this palette, I already have two or three others. But I feel a bit guilty when I use the other palettes, unless I want to change the color shades or I just want to try something new. But my go-to one is always this, and I don't want to go and buy another one while I have this, which doesn't make sense. Okay, on other objects maybe it makes sense, like if you have already some sneakers, you don't go and buy a second one maybe, which I actually do. I couldn't wrap my head around it, but basically for watercolor palettes, they all are different from each other if they are coming from different series or different brands for sure. So I should be comfortable getting a new one or using the other palettes altogether, but I'm more like addicted to this one, and so I'm sticking with this one for the moment. By the way, I start my sketching with my charcoal pen, and I did like a general shape of the buildings first, and I'm gonna take my Pilot gel pen, which is about to break down. That might sound strange because I love this pen and I bought like 5 of them, and this is the last one which is still working. I don't know if it's about where it's coming from, or but I mean like it's from the same brand, so wherever you buy it, it should have the same quality level. But those ones I bought from Turkey, and after a couple use, it just stopped working. You know, this little rolling ball thing on the end of the pen, they just stuck. And it happens with 4 of them already. I try to put them on the warm water, that's one of the techniques to open them up, but it's not about it, it's the little ball thing is just stacking, like the quality is low, or I don't know what's wrong, or I'm like super unlucky with this bench of it. Probably I will buy a like new bench and try my chances again, because I don't like the effect of this pen. And the good part about it, if you apply water after, it's messing around, which I love. Some people might hate it, but I like, because I'm using watercolor mostly to color my paintings, and when the ink pen and the gel pen is fading also with the water, it looks more realistic, more matched with the technique that I'm already using. Anyway, I'm not putting lots of details as you see, because I wasn't sure if I should apply the color first and the gel pen after, because the moment I start to apply watercolor, all the lines gonna fade a bit, and even I like the effect, I don't like it everywhere. Sometimes I really like to have sharp edges between colors, between the shapes. So I'm just putting like general shapes of it, and after I add the colors, probably I will go back to gel pen and add some more details and feel like black areas to have a nice contrast, which I love to have on my paintings. Actually, it's a bit strange because when I see other artists, I quite like faded colors and smooth edges, like especially when they don't use any gel pen or any markers. Like, it looks so soft and it looks so controlled that I can't really do, because I don't have the patience to wait for the watercolor to get dry to apply another color just beside and have these nice edges on between. But I like when other people do it. Maybe I should try to work on it and do some paintings without any gel pen or black lines, and just have the edges by the colors. Can teach me a bit patience, maybe. I don't know if it's necessary. May, yeah, come on. I'm an artist. I'm having a monologue right now. We're having lots of fun, as you can see. Anyway, I would like to talk about my brushes, but I just realized there's kind of nothing to say. I bought them from Singapore, from a stationery shop, and they were quite cheap. Mostly I go for the brands I know, and whenever there's a brand that I know, and if they are cheap, I always take them, because you never know that they might turn out well. As those ones, it's been like 3-4 years that I got them, and I'm using them like every time I do paint, and they are still good. Of course, the handle, the part I hold, it's called handle, I hope. Those parts are peeling off because I tend to leave them in the water, so that's something that we shouldn't do. But I really don't care about those brushes, obviously, and I kind of push their limits to see that if they are gonna go back, but they are very strong, so they still stay. At least the brush part is still okay, you know. Mostly when you leave it in a jar of water for a couple of days, which I do time to time, and I don't recommend you to do it, they are like bending after a while and destroying the hairs. But those ones, super synthetic, but in a good way. They didn't move an inch, so they are still good to go. I think the brand was something like Zigyomi. I have no idea how to pronounce it. They are from China, I think. One of my followers mentioned it before. I didn't go and check it, because probably I can't even find it where I live right now. It's Brazil, and there's literally nothing here. Although I was always thinking like it's quite artistic country, so I might find very interesting art supplies here. I was very excited. But at least in Rio, there's very few art stationaries that I can find good materials, you know. They are for schools and the kids, but nothing really fancy to walk around and pick randomly, which is one of my favorite activity to do. I don't know if it's the same for you. Like, I like to enter in stationery, walk around, check the stuffs, like touch all the papers there is, and touch all the brushes also. If I can touch, I will just touch all the paints too. I really like to touch art supplies. But here I can't really do it. There's 1 or 2 shops which are quite small, so mostly when I travel back to Europe, I'm buying my stuff there, or when my parents or other family member come to visit, I just make them carry stuff. This is way easier for me. By the way, normally I'm shooting these videos for my Turkish channel because I have a series there called Chat and Sketch. I'm talking about my life story, which seems a bit interesting to other people, or the way I say is kind of fun way to talk about what I've been through, what I did when I was at university. That's the period I'm talking about right now. I quite like doing it. I started to just relax and talk randomly, and it becomes something that people really like and look forward to. So there's like 16 episodes already on that channel. And I was thinking, should I do it in English also? It could be interesting, but I'm not sure if the story gonna have the same taste when I say it in English, because first it's not my mother language, so it's not as easy to have a character when I talk, you know. I don't know, if you're speaking another language, you can understand what I'm trying to say. It's like when you switch language, when you talk another language, you're losing a character of yourself a bit. You're having a different character than your native language. You're not using a specific word. Like, I don't have lots of vocabulary to describe myself or my thoughts or my feeling in a very different way or an artistic way in English. So it's quite simple, like a 6 years old speaking English, I believe, at least I hope, better than 4. So I'm not sure if it could have the same taste, same effect, but maybe I can try. If there's anyone listening when I'm talking and would like to hear my story while I'm sketching, let me know in the comments, then I might go for it. It's actually quite incredible when I think right now. When I first started to do videos for the YouTube, I was doing English with a friend of mine, and I was living in Malaysia this time, and the friend circle I have, we were only speaking English. And when I was doing videos, I was super comfortable in English, and when I started to do in Turkish, I was not comfortable at all. It was so strange because I wasn't using Turkish beside when I FaceTime with my family, and I was feeling off when I talk about myself or what I'm doing in Turkish. And right now it's other way around. I think I found my voice in Turkish now. I'm quite comfortable most of the time when I'm doing voiceover for my videos. And English one, I don't know if it's because I'm alone now, I'm not doing it with a friend of mine, and I feel like I'm talking by myself and I'm not even sure. Mostly I'm questioning if it's understandable, like if it makes any sense to people who listen it, or if there's any people actually listening. So I'm trying to get over it. I try and kind of force myself to feel comfortable speaking in English on my videos so I can do more videos in English which doesn't have only music on the background but my voice to make horrible jokes and disturb you while watching my paintings. And it's getting better. I hope it's gonna go back like it was before and I will again feel comfortable about speaking in English, which I daily do because with my husband we mostly speak in English, sometimes French, but here we are in Brazil now and I have to speak Portuguese, which I don't quite, but I'm learning. So my brain is not fast enough to catch up between the languages, I think. But so far, I'm not mixing 2-3 languages while I'm doing this video at least. So not bad. So far, so good. I always envy the people who can speak a lot of languages and actually love it. I'm not someone who can memorize things, and I have horrible memory, at least. Visual one is okay, but like to learn language, to memorize things, I hate it. Maybe because I hate it, I'm bad at it, or maybe I hate it because I'm actually bad at it. I don't know which one comes first, but I try to push myself also because the lifestyle we have, we are moving one country to the other every year and then, so I like actually, I meet people who speak a couple of languages, so I try to force myself to do so. But it's not always easy. It takes years, practice, and the moment you start to speak the language, you're moving somewhere else and it starts all over again. So probably Portuguese is gonna be the last language I learn. Then maybe I can focus on improving my French, and I don't know what's next. You never know. But it's kind of like punishment to me that someone who hates languages, like it took me years to learn English, not the practical part, but the part that I actually accept that I should speak another language because I was so stubborn to learn. I was thinking it's useless, which is so stupid, but I was a kid, so it's okay, it's acceptable. But the moment I said that, okay, I need it, I should start to speak, it gets better actually. I realize it's not that complicated. It looks just confusing and it made me feel stupid in the beginning, like I can't really get it. But it's like this in every language. In the beginning it's just hard to get the logic settled in your brain, but afterwards with the practice it just boom. At least for me it was like that. For French is another thing, of course, but I don't want to talk about only languages now. Let's focus on the painting a bit more. After I put some base colors, which I'm using similar shades because if the palette is not quite good, I don't like to use different colors side to side. So here I use brownish, yellowish shades together, and I try to keep it more or less same with the slight difference between the buildings, so it's gonna be easy to separate them from each other, but they're gonna look like they belong together. And I'm using this kind of grayish indigo shade for the roofs. And I was thinking if I should put some like red ones, dark red ones in between, but I was afraid that it's gonna look odd, and I just decided to go for the same shade. And to make them look more attached, more combined, I'm adding another layer of sunshine. It's kind of, I took this yellowish oranges color and mix it with lots of water and decide like where the sun is shining from, which is on the left side of my painting, and add those yellowish shade on the left side of the buildings. Then I did the same thing with the darker color. I took this indigo with lots of water inside and added shadows on the right side of the buildings and the place that I thought gonna stay in the shadows to make it look a bit more 3D. Now I can take my gel pen and jump into details, which I quite love, but it hurts, you know, it hurts like bitch. After a while my pinky finger is just crying and I'm like, I wanna done with it, but I'm making like lots of pleasure in the same time. This is my, I don't know, some artists hate it, like doing details and tiny words like this. I love it. I don't know, what you think? It's your favorite part when you're doing some sketches. I quite like the beginning also. You have no idea. Mostly I have no idea what it's gonna look like, and I'm just surprising myself. It's actually applied for this painting too. When I start, I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing more or less. I'm gonna do some buildings painting. And when I first start to color it, I'm like, oh fuck, it looks like shit. It's not good. Like, maybe I should like stop the video and restart it, because I really didn't like it. And I'm like, okay, let it go, Tuche, just let it be. If it's ugly, it's ugly, you know. You're good artist, you're beginner, you're expert, doesn't matter. Some days are not just as good as the others, and some paintings are just meant to be ugly. But not this one. Sorry, I'm not gonna be humble, but I start to like it quite a lot. I don't know, maybe because I expect very less, so when it turned out to be more beautiful than I thought it would be, I surprised and love it a lot, or it's just beautiful and I love it, I don't know. Anyway, I'm loving it. I hope you like it too. I wasn't feeling so sure what to talk about during this video, but eventually I end up talking a lot, which is not very related to painting because I really don't know what to say about it. But if you have any questions about like my art, about painting, about the materials I use, or anything that you just wonder, you can ask me in the comments below, or you can suggest me a subject to talk about. So on the next sketch time video, I can just talk about those subjects, answer some questions, give you some insight about what I think that could be interesting actually. And you can just follow me on Instagram and send me any questions you have, or any doubts, or any, I don't know, anything. You can just reach me out. Mostly I answer the messages. Not immediately, I'm checking time to time my DMs, but I will get back to you, most probably. I can't promise, but most probably I will do it. Sometimes I'm just lazy to do anything, like all of you, but eventually I will come around, I promise. Anyway, I think it's time to close this video. I'm done with my drawing and I love it. I'm already thinking that I should do some other versions of it, maybe on a proper watercolor paper to hang on my walls. I'm on the process of decorating my office space. It's been it's been more than a year that I moved in this place, but I'm still not settled in fully, and I still try to draw something new, something inspiring to hang on my walls. And I think some other sketches from Paris or anywhere in Europe actually. This summer I was in Amsterdam and I really liked the architecture there also. Maybe next video I can draw something from there, or maybe just for myself to decorate my half empty office, I can say. Actually I have already lots of things, but the office space is huge, so I need more, which is good. It kind of pushed me to do some more paintings, not only for the videos but for my pleasure too. By the way, after the gel pen I used darker shade to add some more shadows to make it a bit more realistic. I don't know if you're saying, but I love when there are dark shades in the painting. This one is quite colorful for me. I don't know, maybe for you it's super faded. You can imagine my style. Like, I like it when it's super faded and with strong contrast and strong shadows. I think it looks better this way. Here we come to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoy watching and listening it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll see you guys very soon on the next video. Ciao!